Hello, welcome to my channel WWE Pulse.
The Empress of Tomorrow, the longest reigning NXT Women's Champion in history, one half of the first ever WWE Women's Tag Team Champions and a two-time Royal Rumble winner. This is Asuka. Asuka made her first appearance on NXT television on July 2015 and quickly made an impact by attacking the newly crowned NXT Women's Champion Sasha Banks. Over the next several weeks, she would attack other top stars like Becky Lynch,
Excellent.
Charlotte, and even current UFC starlet Ronda Rousey. In fact, it was Asuka who defeated Ronda Rousey in her last ever match in WWE. Although some fans might remember this as the match where Ronda Rousey tapped out to the cross-colored submission maneuver known as the Asuka Lock. Many others remember this match for another reason. That being that this was the very first time we saw the now iconic stomp from us, which has since become one of the most recognizable finishing moves in all of WWE. And let me tell you, there have been plenty of victims of this move over the years. With the way that Asuka was dominating NXT, it was no surprise when she finally got her shot at the championship. At NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, she went head-to-head with the aforementioned Sasha Banks in what many fans and critics alike would go on to call the best women's wrestling match of the year. Even though Sasha Banks managed to retain her title, Asuka's stock was at an all-time high after the match, and she would continue to compete in the main event scene of NXT for the next few months. After coming up short against the likes of Bayley and Nia Jax, she would finally get her revenge on Sasha Banks, defeating her in a street fight to capture the NXT Women's Championship for the first time. From there, she would go on to have successful defenses against everyone, from Nikki Sanchez to Charlotte to Ruby Riott and more. In total, her reign lasted a whopping 510 days, making her the longest reigning NXT Women's Champion in history. Not only that, but she also holds the record for most days combined between reigns as champion, having held the title twice for a combined total of 746 days. These records may never be broken. After dropping the NXT Women's Championship to Ember Moon in October of 2018, she was called up to the main roster, where she immediately set her sights on the newly introduced WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. She would team up with new friend Cara Sane to become the No. 1 contenders, and the two would go on to defeat the Iconics at Wrestling 35 to become the first ever WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. During their reign, they successfully defended the titles against teams like the Boss and Hug Connection, the Riot Squad, However, after suffering a defeat at the hands of the Kabuki Warriors at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, Sane would turn on Asuka to join forces with her old rival, Cara Sane. This led to a triple threat tag team match at Survivor Series, where Asuka and a partner of her choice would take on Sane and a partner of her choice, as well as the current WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, the Kabuki Warriors. The partner that Asuka chose for this match happened to be none other than Becky Lynch, who was returning to in-ring action for the first time since WrestleMania 35. Together, these two would defeat both the Kabuki Warriors and Io Shirai and Xena to win the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships for a second time. But before we move any further into this list, if you're a fan of this video so far, make sure to hit that like button. It really helps us out a lot. And if you want to see more videos like this one, then you can subscribe to the channel for more lists. Now back to the Empress. With the Royal Rumble upon us, Asuka decided to enter the match despite not holding a contract with WWE at the 2020 Women's Royal Rumble. Not only did she manage to eliminate both Zelina Vega and current WWE Women's Tag Team Champion Shayna Baszler, but she went on to win the entire match. This victory not only earned her a spot in the main event of WrestleMania 36, but it also showed the world that she still had what it took to hang with the best of the best in WWE. Unfortunately, her night at WrestleMania would come up short as she lost to Becky Lynch in a highly controversial fashion. Despite the loss, she would go on to become a mainstay in the main event scene of WWE throughout 2020 and 2021. Competing in the likes of Money in the Bank, Survivor Series, and more. In addition to this, she would also become a regular on Monday Night Raw as part of the newly formed Raw Women's division alongside the likes of Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, and more. But things would take a bit of a downturn when she was unsuccessful in her attempts at winning the WWE Raw Women's Championship. However, this wouldn't last long, as in October of 2021, WWE held another 10-woman tag team match similar to the one that had taken place at Survivor Series in 2019. This time around, Team Asa would go on to defeat Team Raw in the main event of the show. And just like the 2019 Survivor Series match, Assy stood tall over all of her opponents at the end of the bout. This led to speculation about a potential heel turn for the Empress, which would ultimately come true the following week on Raw, when she attacked both Alexa Bliss and the returning Mickie James. This would lead to a six-pack elimination match for the #1 contenderess spot for the WWE Raw Women's Championship, which would ultimately be won by Becky Lynch. Despite coming up short in this opportunity, she would go on to earn a spot in the 2022 Women's Royal Rumble match. And as the 30th and final entrant, she managed to eliminate both Becky Lynch and Doudrop before going on to win the match for the second time in her career. This victory earned her a championship opportunity at WrestleMania 38, where she would take on Bianca Belair for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. Unfortunately, her night at WrestleMania would once again come up short, losing the match to Belair in just 2 minutes and 19 seconds. Despite coming up short at WrestleMania, she would go on to defeat Shotzi in a steel cage match the following month but this victory would once again be overshadowed by her inability to win a major championship. But maybe it's exactly this fire within her that makes her such a great performer. Maybe it's this drive that allows her to bring her absolute best week in and week out. Or maybe it is because of this drive that she's just willing to do whatever it takes to win, including turning heel. Whatever the case may be, it's clear that the Empress of Tomorrow is here to stay. As someone who has seen it all in professional wrestling, Asuka stands out amongst her peers as a true superstar. Whether she is donning her signature purple and black or stepping into the ring in her trademark black lingerie, It was clear that she is unafraid to be herself, and that she doesn't care what anyone else thinks she does. There's something to be admired about this sort of confidence, especially in a business like professional wrestling that demands you be larger than life. If you enjoyed this video, then you might also enjoy our other recent videos, including T10 Greatest Female Wrestlers of All Time. You can find this video and more on our channel.
Okay guys, thank you for watching my videos.